being back on the bike is just fantastic. I love it. Makes me realize how much I love motorcycles. When you haven't been on a bike for a couple weeks or like a week and a half or so, even a couple days, you get back on, you're like, oh my God. It is the best feeling ever. So, I'm really blessed that I have a bike. Really happy. I guess since we're talking about that, about motorcycles and how they make me exceedingly happy, I'll talk about the story with my first motorcycle, how I got it, what challenges I had to go through to get it, and hopefully the wind isn't too much for you guys. I posted on my Facebook that it's like, there's a wind advisory, 45 to 55 mile an hour gusts. So yeah, we'll just have a little fun. I don't really care about that gust riding wise, I just care about it like messing with my vlog. Anyways, my first bike, 2000 Yamaha R6. When I started looking for motorcycles, it was back like, I would say my freshman year of college, possibly senior year of high school. I was about 18, 19 years old when I started looking. When I started really wanting them, I started watching moto vlogs. I did all kinds of research, you know, I was just all up in that. Like, anything about motorcycles I wanted to know about. Started learning a lot, finding out what I wanted. I even checked out a fucking Ninja 250 when I was looking. I'm really glad I didn't go with the 250, guys. Like, there's no way. Lots of people like to start out on them. I think, no, not for me. I'm glad I started out on an R6. It was perfect for me. So basically, I kept looking around on Craigslist all the time, just dreaming, finding out what bikes I wanted, what I liked the best. So eventually came up to the point where I knew that my mom didn't want me to get one. My dad would flip-flop between yes and no. And, you know, at this point I was 20 years old enough to make my own fucking decisions. So I went to a bank, wound up getting approved for a loan as long as my dad co-signed with me. Which he, I went to him, talked about it, and he wound up agreeing. And that's how I got my first bike, or my first loan for a bike. It was a signature loan, which means that I had 1 year. Actually, no, it wasn't a signature. It was like a Christmas loan. Most people would get them to buy Christmas presents and stuff for their family if they didn't have the money, which is stupid because then you just have to pay like whatever, $100 payment every month for a year and then do it all over again. I'll go ahead and tell you how much I spent on my first bike. My R6 that I had pictures of, I'll post a couple pictures right there and there. Yeah, that's my first bike. I spent $1,600 on it, which was incredibly cheap. The only reason that it was that cheap is because it was a Street Fighter, which I love Street Fighters, so it was perfect for me. Yeah, so I got approved for that loan. I had a year to pay it off, so my payments were like, I don't know, 120 a month, something like that. Insurance wasn't too bad, because I was able to get liability. I think it was like 15 bucks a month. Yeah. So basically perfect beginner bike. No fairings to wreck. Really cheap. Easy to ride. I think it's the perfect beginner bike. So basically what happened, I got approved for the loan. We went to go check out the bike. Everything was copacetic. I loved it. Fell in love with it really fast. It was my first bike after all. I had never ridden before, so I wasn't able to go test ride it. I just had him ride it up and down the street so I could, you know, listen to it and make sure it rode. Which, you know, you never want to do that. You always want to bring a friend and have them ride it. That way they can give you a, you know, an honest opinion on what the bike is, and you're going goo-goo eyes over it, so you know, it's better to have someone that's not actually buying the bike. And you know, I was so excited to get it home. So basically, we went to go get the money from the bank. We went to my mom's house, and I had already bought a helmet and my jacket, my first helmet and jacket and gloves. So I know my mom knew that something was going on. She just didn't want to accept it, I guess. So I was there at my mom's house. All of a sudden, my dad told my mom that I was getting one. This is like, we were headed to go get the bike, and my mom didn't know about it. Because I knew she'd freak out, and she did. She started like crying. She was like, "You're gonna kill yourself. I'm not gonna have a son anymore." All this like guilt trip stuff. It was really hard. I actually told her, you know, okay, fine, I won't get the bike. I told her that. And I went downstairs, I was pissed. And then she came downstairs, she was crying. She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just, you know, I'm your mother. I'm just scared that I don't want to lose you." And I explained to her, you know, I have all my gear. You know, most motorcycle deaths are from people that don't wear helmets or like drunk drivers, shit like that. So she wound up being okay. You can get it as long as you don't do wheelies at 100 miles an hour. That's what she said. Which I don't believe I've ever hit 100 miles an hour. I think I've hit like 85 or 90. Gotta keep that promise. Anyways, hey, motorcycle, what's up? He didn't wave at me. He looked like Santa Claus. Man, it's windy. Anyways, so we went to go get my bike. Jesus, it's windy. Really? If I get down in a little tuck, can you guys hear me better? Okay, so yeah, we went to go get, I doubt it. We went to go get my bike. And actually we had him truck it. He put it in the back of his truck and he brought it to our house. And we unloaded it there. And oh God, I was excited. When we got it in my garage, it was really cold and windy that day, I remember. It was like excessively cold. It was in the middle of December. It was like 20 degrees out. Really windy like today. And oh God, I didn't even fucking care. I was like, I want this bike in my garage. I want to buy it now. I got it in my garage. I sat on it. I looked at it. I Googled it, or Google-eyed it. And I touched it all over. I made love to it. All that stuff. I was so happy. For the next week or two, I was already signed up for an MSF course, but wound up not being able to do my MSF course until like a month or two later. So basically, what I did for that month or two, I sat on the bike. You know, if you've seen my How to Ride a Motorcycle, I just did that. You know, played with the friction zone, got to ride it around the neighborhood a couple times, practiced a little bit. I sucked. I was a very, very noob rider, but you know, it was a good bike. It was light. It was pretty forgiving. Being a carbureted bike, it didn't have a really touchy, like it's kind of like Emma, like the throttle response isn't really touchy like my CBR. No, it's just a great bike. I love it. I miss it a lot. That is one bike that I absolutely fell in love with. Not like my CBR. I miss how attractive the CBR was. It was a great looking bike, but I actually fell in love with the R6. So I do miss it. I had a couple, you know, scary moments with it. One time my chain snapped with it, and then my front sprocket fell off of the counter shaft and wound up grinding down the threads on it, so I was scared I wasn't going to be able to get the nut back on. And I wound up doing that. Barely. But yeah, that's kind of a story of my first bike and how I got it. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you guys ever see that bike, I've never seen it around. I'm pretty sure the guy who bought it's dead. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See ya!